Hi, kids. Welcome back to the Tiny Techies. And today I'm going to share with you all a very special tool which we will be using in all our classes that you'll be attending with me for Python. So, be it basic Python or it's advanced Python, we'll be using the same tool. Only difference that will be there, it will be in terms of what functions we are using in that tool. Okay, like okay, let me first disclose the name of that tool. So, we'll be using none other than the Visual Studio Code, which is a great coding platform for you to start with. Like, if you have already begin your coding journey in Scratch, or even if you have not, please don't be afraid of that. I'm here to assist you all, make your coding journey very special. So this tool, Visual Studio Code, it's industry standard. All the coders out there, they are using this tool. The reason behind that is that this tool supports multiple languages. I would say this is the sole reason and the most important one why Visual Studio Code is preferred by coders throughout the world. If you're planning on to start your coding journey in Python, or if you plan to maybe switch later on to any other language of your choice. For example, if you want to go into the web development, you want to learn HTML, JavaScript, you want to make your projects, right? Or if you want to go into the game development section and you want to learn Java, or maybe any other framework as well. I'm not just talking about a simple language, but kids, even if you have heard about the frameworks, right? Now, what do I mean by frameworks? I'll give you a very little hint in this video, because the reason is we'll be focusing on Python in particular. Okay, so for example, if you have heard about let's say Unity, right? Or these are the platforms which support your coding. So these extensions are also available in Visual Studio Code. It's very vast, very, very, very vast. So if you have make your mind that you want to learn this thing, this tool, then you are at the right point and at the right video. So you don't need to search on any other videos how to download Visual Studio Code. Just see this and you'll be able to download it very beautifully and very clearly into your computer. Okay, so you have to just go into the any browser of your choice. I'm using Google Chrome. You can also refer to Microsoft Edge or Brave or any browser that you're having. Okay, it should just have the ability to search. So what you're going to search in the search bar, you have to search for Visual Studio Code download. Okay, this is the thing that you need to search. Now, before downloading this tool, shall we study a little bit about what is Visual Studio Code? Right, I think we should. So, before going to the download section, let me just take you to the Visual Studio Code itself. So, this is the official website that you see over here, which is named as code.visualstudio.com. So, if I just click onto this website and if I check, what does it shows me? So this is somewhat the interface of Visual Studio Code. Like, you'll see so many coding lines in here. You don't need to worry about it, okay? Because we will be coding in our own. I'll be helping you. Techies is there to help you in your coding journey. But our main l- motive of opening this documentation is to help you know what is the main features of Visual Studio Code. So here I am. You can see code with rich features. So what are the features? You can code in any language. Now, what do you mean by language? Python is a language. Do you know that? It's a language to communicate with computers. So, similarly, you can code in any language, be it HTML, be it C, be it C++, any version. Now, there is something called as version control. Don't confuse it yet. When you are back to the classes, we'll study all of this in detail. But for now, you need to know that for your you can say perspective or your approach is it is to use the Visual Studio Code to help you get that flexibility. There is debugging available. Now what do you mean by debugging? If for example, if your code that you have written, it has errors or if it has bugs, then how are you going to know that my code contains errors? That is with the help of this debugging feature. So Visual Studio Code also supports this debugging feature. Now, kids, please excuse me if I use VS Code instead of Visual Studio Code in the upcoming videos. The reason is that both of these terms are used interchangeably. Okay, you can also use the term Visual Studio Code or you can use the term VS Code. Both means the same thing and they refer to the same tool. Now, this is also used in testing. So when you have make your code, right? What do you mean by testing? Testing doesn't mean that you have to run the whole code. For example, if you want to run up till some lines, like maybe up till 10th line of code or up till 20th line of code, then that feature is also available. Testing feature is also available in Visual Studio Code. You didn't need to run the whole, maybe if it's a 100-line code or a 50-line code, you don't need to run whole of it. You just need to focus or you just need to press the run button and it will run step by step, line by line. It will show you, but that is only possible once you have entered this testing feature. I'll show you how it is there in Visual Studio Code. Then you can code anywhere, and obviously there are videos. There are so many videos available on the internet to help you, start your coding journey with Visual Studio Code, and this video is also one of those. Okay, so now let's download the Visual Studio Code. So, what you will observe is if you specifically go to Visual Studio Code download, the first link, do you observe the first link which says that code.visualstudio.com download? So, if you click on here, you can download the version that you're having. For example, if you're having Windows, so this one is available for Windows 10 and 11, and I believe most of you are using 10 or 11 version only. So just click on the download and it will start downloading. Okay, I'm gonna pause it since I'm already having the Visual Studio Code in my computer. I use it on a daily basis. Okay, but if you're downloading it for the first time, this pop-up will appear. Once the file is downloaded, just click on the file and it will run. If it will take you through all the what you can say steps of how to get to the actual coding interface. Okay, so okay, let's just resume it. I believe I'll show you each and every step because that will be the most appropriate thing here. So we also have the Linux version available and there is a Mac version too. So if you're using Mac by chance or maybe Linux machine, then you can click on these download versions. So .deb will be the most one for the Linux users and Mac for Windows. Oh, sorry, it's for Mac laptops. So the thing is, it's downloaded. So once it's downloaded, just click on this. Yeah, So here it will appear. What you have to do is, I'll take you through it line by line, step by step. So first of all, a license agreement will appear. So you don't need to read all of this, it's not of any use. Just click on I accept the agreement. Okay, once you accept, then only you can download it. If you click on I do not accept, it won't take you to the next steps. Okay, now over here you can select this icon as well, which says that create a desktop icon. It will help you to locate your Visual Studio Code once it is downloaded. Okay, so other options are also there. Just click all these check boxes. We don't need to uncheck anything. So then it will say ready to install. So if you click on the install, it will take just 2 to 3 minutes and all the necessary files will be downloaded in your computer. Okay, and then the file will be ready for you to use. So this is one thing, but I won't install it. As I already mentioned, I'm having that. But if you just click on install, it will open the VS Code directly. Okay, I'll just click on cancel. Yes, I don't want to. So let me open my Visual Studio Code. It must be on the top. Yeah, here it is, since I use it. So it's taking some time. Okay. So this is how the Visual Studio Code looks like. But if you're opening it for the very first time, let me show you how that looks, because this is something that I was working on previously. Okay, let me take you to a new window. Exactly, this is what I wanted. So, this is the thing. So what will happen is, when you will download, okay, you'll download the Visual Studio Code for the very first time, something like this will show up. It will give you a welcome, a very warm welcome page. Okay, just ignore these things, we don't require it right now. I'll just cross it. Yeah. So then it will give you some options like new file, or if there is an existing file in your PC, like maybe any coding file that you might have, worked upon sometime earlier, you can open that file directly in Visual Studio Code. That is also the option you get. Then open folder. This is a very beautiful thing, because children, what we will do is, when we'll begin our classes, no, when we'll begin our Python classes, I'll suggest all of you to create a dedicated folder in which you're storing all your Python files, because I don't want it to be scattered all around in your PC, right? So once you've created a folder, maybe you can create it anywhere. Okay, you can create it in your desktop, anywhere you want. So I generally prefer desktop or the downloads part. It's your choice. So once you have created a folder, you just need to click on that name, and then it will automatically open over here. Okay, I'll show you one example. Like if I click on open folder, and if I go to my coding folder that I have, it's C++. Yeah, so if I'm opening it, so it has a lot of files. Actually, you see, it has a lot of files. I had a lot of files earlier in that folder. Similarly, once you've created a folder, you'll be directly inside that folder, and from here you can just click on new file, and it will automatically install, or it will automatically give you a option to create a new file inside that folder. Okay, so for now I don't need any. I'll just cross it. Let's explore the other features too, which are there if you open the VS Code for the very first time. Okay, so this was open folder. Okay, then others, it's just the Visual Studio Code detects all of the coding files which are there on your laptop, and it will show you. So I had actually worked on a lot of coding files earlier, so this is showing me that thing. If you might be having this coding files, then it will also show you. So always remember of this thing, like this is a very simple layout. If you want to change anything, if you want to change in anything inside your Visual Studio Code working area, you just need to go into the settings section, and there are a lot of settings, lot of settings. You can change your mouse speed, you can change even the color of uh this Visual Studio Code. Like right now it's black. Okay, and see, this is the color theme. I just typed in theme and it showed me. But if I want a light color, I can also go in with this, you see. So light color, I mostly prefer dark, that's why it was selected. But it all depends on you. So the setting feature is very good. It helps you, make your Visual Studio Code even more favorite, and you'll love working on it. So this was one thing that I wanted to show you. Okay, this thing over here, it's your user profile. You can opt to sign in, or even if you don't want, then it's sign out. Even if you're sign out, it will work. So this section is your Explorer section. What do you mean by Explorer? Explorer means that whatever files you'll be working on, or even if there are files that you might have created earlier, all of these things will show in here, but you have to open them first for them to show in here. Okay, so just like when, if you remember, in this video only, previously I opened one folder. So as soon as I opened the folder, all the files which were there in that folder, they started appearing in the Explorer section. Okay, then the search feature, you'll use it but very rarely. Okay, we don't need it right now. So this is the run and debug function. So when I talked about the features, I told you that there is a debug functionality and there is a testing functionality available. So where is it available? It's available under this thing. So when you're written a code, okay, when you want to run and when you want to debug it at the same time, just use this. It will give you the testing functionality as well. So then there is something called as extensions. So as I told you that VS Code has a lot of languages to work in. Now, how it has a lot of languages? The only reason is because it has a lot of extensions. It has even the extensions of AI. Now, what do you mean by extension? Extension means support, help. So whatever things the developers are working on, they create an extension of that. So tools like these, tools like VS Code, they support a lot of extensions, so that you have the flexibility to work in any language and in any area. Okay, so you can just like for example, if you'll be working on Python, I'll search for Python over here, and you see there are so many extensions. Now extensions by Microsoft are also available, like the ones that Microsoft developed, which are absolutely legit. This is for the Python debugger, but we'll be using this. Okay, I think it might be installed. Yeah, it's already installed in my computer, so that's why it's showing uninstall. So we'll be using this extension to work with the Python classes. Now, for example, if you don't want to use the extension for Microsoft, which is not at all recommendable, please note this point. I always recommend the extensions from a legit platform. Microsoft is some thing that I trust. Okay, but other than that, there are extensions from the developers as well. If you see, this is developed by Kevin Rose. Okay, then we have Dawn, Jamin, something like these. So these extensions have gone very popular. That's why they are popping up here when you're searching for them. Okay, even if you search for some, extension of an AI. Let's see if it supports the. Oh, here you go, Chat GPT. It's an AI tool. So the legit one is here, right? So it will, even if you install it, then what will happen is when you write code, it will show you suggestions. Okay, like, but you have to make some changes to it. Don't think that you'll just install it and it will work. No, nothing like that. So this was for the extensions part. I think it was pretty much clear, right? Then we have something called as database projects. Now, if you have ever heard of the term database, if you are, what should I say, coding lovers, or a hard eye coders, then you obviously have heard about this term. So database is something where we store a large amount of data. For example, you're working on some project, you're working on, let's say, a website, okay, or if you're working on, let's say, a game, then whatever data you need along with it, you, or even if you want to build a database of your own, this thing is also available. You see, the VS Code is so diverse. Like, even you don't need these things right now, you have just started your journey, but I want you to learn and, to appreciate the developers who have developed this amazing tool, or the community, because it's not just one single developer, it's a community out there. So many people have come together, sorry, so many people have come together, and then they have created this amazing tool for us to use. Okay, so this is Codium. Actually, I prefer this. It's an AI extension only, so it's showing in here that I installed sometime maybe earlier. So this was all about navigation, okay, taskbar sort of thing, what all appears in VS Code. Now if you look at the top, what you'll find a file section, pretty obvious. Like, if you have worked in Word or maybe Paint, then the file section is almost same in each and every platform. So you'll find these options, where you have new file option, new window, okay, all of these, save as, auto save. My autosave is turned on because every time I do changes in the code, it's automatically saved. uh, it's your choice, you can turn it off, it all depends on you. Then what do we have is something called as edit section. So this is similar to, when you want to undo the change or redo the change, cut, copy, paste, all of things available. Then we have selection option. You won't use this, trust me, it's used very rarely. Then view is used very rarely. Go similarly. Run is something you'll use not very frequently, but yeah, you'll use, like, start debugging or run without debugging. Or even if you want to, run directly without going into first run, then what you can do is, I'll take you to the other code. Yeah, so if you see this, there is a run option available, and now it's showing run C or C++ file because this code is written in C++. If you'll make a Python file, it will automatically show run Python file. Okay, so beauty of this tool, it's very intelligent, intelligent than all the human out there. So then we have a terminal option. So let me show you how terminal looks like. Terminal is some sort of this thing that I'm highlighting below, at the bottom. So whatever you'll run, all the outputs will show here, and even if you want to enter some input, it will also pop up here. Like, it will give you an option to enter the input. Okay, now besides the terminal, we have other options too, like problems will show you that what errors you're having. Like, right now there's no error in my code, but if it would have been there, it would have shown up here. Okay, no problems have been detected in the workspace, it's currently displaying this. Then output, you don't need to worry about that because terminal will show you the output as well as the input. And out of these, all the five, these are, sorry, six, you'll only use problems and terminal section the most. Comments is also not used. Debug console is used when you'll use this run and debug function. Okay, now besides that, we also have a help section available. It's a very vast help section. Like, anything that you're ever stuck upon, you just need to find in the right direction. Like, it's showing you documentation, maybe you can go to the documentation, because all the features that are available in the VS Code, if you're stuck on any, its corresponding help will be available in there. Okay, or else I'm always here to help you guys in any way I can. And I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, we don't have much left to explain. Let me just take you through this also. So this is like, if you want to hide this thing, like the primary side, this thing opens up. But if you click on it, so it will basically toggle. So what is the meaning of toggle? On and off. So right now it's not highlighted, but if I click back again, you'll see that this part is shaded. So the shaded part means that there's something open in the left. Okay. Similarly, if you do it this way, so it will show you like the shaded part. Wherever the part is shaded, it will show you the corresponding working area over there. Okay. Now if I to see about the right things, so it's the so this one is the primary site, and the second one, this thing below, is the panel where all the options are available. This thing is the secondary side. Okay. And this is how you customize the layout. So you see, it's so beautiful. Like, you have a centered layout, you have a full screen mode as well. Right now it's in the full screen, you will not see anything else. But if I deselect the full screen mode, I can see my taskbar right down there. Okay, so yeah, when we'll work on this tool, believe me, you'll love to work on it. You'll love to work on it each and every day. And I hope that you will enjoy using this tool. And also, since it's a industrial standard tool, I really recommend to all of you kids out there that you really start understanding this tool. The bet Like, the earlier you understand it, it's the better for you only. You'll have options to work on so many things, and you'll not be restricted by the working platform. VS Code is there with you, you are proficient in it, and that's it, all that you require. Okay, kids, then I hope that was all that you required for using the VS Code. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. You learned something from it. You learned something good, something fruitful. And when you'll be studying along with me, maybe it's Python or Scratch, whatever you want to, then we'll have even more fun. So I'll see you out there. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.